Well, good morning. I got to do a couple of pre-recordings because I'll be in Washington, D.C. for the March for Life. So keep everyone in their prayers, especially all those pregnant women out there and pregnant fathers. But anyway, it is Thursday, January 20th, the second week of Ordinary Time, and it is the feast day of Saint Sebastian, who was around in 256 through 288 AD, where he was killed at 32 years old as a martyr for the faith, and it was during the great persecution of Christians in the Roman Empire. And he is most popularly known as the patron saint of athletes, but he's also the patron saint of soldiers and persecuted Christians. Today's gospel is from Mark chapter 3, verses 7 through 12. Let's begin in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Jesus withdrew toward the sea with his disciples. A large number of people followed from Galilee and from Judea. Hearing what he was doing, a large number of people came to him, also from Jerusalem, from Idumea, from beyond the Jordan, and from the neighborhood of Tyre and Sidon. He told his disciples to have a boat ready for him because of the crowd, so that they would not crush him. He had cured many, and as a result, those who had diseases were pressing upon him to touch him. And whenever unclean spirits saw him, they would fall down before him and shout, "You are the Son of God." He warned them sternly not to make him known. So we've got the mercy of Jesus demonstrated today, in which he just doesn't deny anybody. And it says the crowds were pressing upon him, and he had to get a boat so that he wasn't crushed. Like, that's how intense his popularity was. And this is before modern technology, like phones, internet, social media. So it's not like people can just find out instantly. So this had to be truly the Son of God, as they said at the very end. In which all the unclean spirits would fall down before him. So that's pretty powerful. And the footnote here says, this overview of the Galilean ministry manifests the power of Jesus to draw people to himself through his teaching and deeds of power. The crowds of Jews from many regions surround Jesus. So I think this we can kind of reflect, because we're all called as Christians to be as Christ-like as possible. So the question is, how are we doing that? How are we growing closer to Christ? And we can only grow closer to Christ through communication with him and through prayer and by trying to grow in Christian virtues. What are the virtues? That's what we might need to study and kind of get that figured out. And also recognize that, whenever we become more and more like Jesus, that people will come to us. But also notice the humility of Jesus that followed up with that. Because pride is not of Jesus at all. Never was Jesus prideful. Satan was. Pride is what caused the fall. But Jesus was not, because he had done all these things, cured. And he warned them sternly not to make him known. Because he wanted all the attention to God the Father, and not so much him specifically. In his human flesh. So that's one of the great mysteries. So with all that being said, how are we growing in humility and in faith and in closer relationship with Jesus in our daily lives, amongst the hustle, amongst the bustle, amongst the highs and the lows, and everything in between? How do we keep our eyes and our hearts fixed on Jesus to attract people to us through both good times and bad? So have a great day. God bless. Keep it real. In the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.